Well, hey, real estate fans, welcome to the podcast. This week, we're going to be discussing 2025 prices and interest rates and what's coming next, because we have a lot of projections and some of them are surprising. So in the first point that we want to make is interest rates are likely to stay a little bit high, and we were not expecting that. So just a reminder, when the Federal Reserve Bank lowers interest rates, it's because they feel that the economy is vulnerable or at risk. And so the indication is that we're not, and there's some positive winds at our back recently. The optimism and buoyancy of a lot of markets has come back. And so for housing, I want to show you this projection that we got from Keeping Current Matters, one of my favorite websites. And you can see the projections for the interest rates are, for the most part, going to remain in the mid to high sixes. So there's several different housing experts that have weighed in on this, but they're all kind of in the same boat, that the interest rates are not going to go down significantly in 2025. So I wanted to discuss this because the other phenomena we're seeing is that the prices have not only bottomed out in a lot of the neighborhoods in Southern Oregon, but they're starting to creep back up. Now, don't panic if you're buying, because having said that, I don't see any quickness with the prices going up. So it's not just that the prices are going to go up. I'm thinking they're going to go up a little more slowly because the economy is not super healed yet. And so, price increases are not just based on demand. They're based on the buyer's ability to pay, which comes back to the buyer's employer. So, and in Southern Oregon, as many of you know, our wages are not what they are in big cities. So that kind of all works in together to give some basis to my prediction that the prices will go up, but very gently and over the next 1 or 2 years. So, but having said that, we still have a big flood of listings coming into the market, even during the winter, which is highly unusual and frequently only happens when the market is changing right underneath us. So I'm going to go on record saying right now, here in December, the market's changing right now, and we're going to start going into an up market. And it's not just me saying that. There's a lot of housing people that are making that prediction. But we'll see, right? It's always fun to go back and check. So much more inventory lately during the winter, which is unusual. Projected to have way more inventory in the spring. There's going to be a lot more competition. We're going to talk about what that does to sellers next. And the buyers have gotten used to this rough ride of the interest rates. And even though they're so high, they're in the sixes, they're not in the sevens, and they're not in the eights. So buyers have settled in, they're getting used to the trauma and the drama, and they're out there buying houses. Plus, a lot of them feel or know from data that we're at the bottom and it's time to get something. Because if you buy something at the beginning of an up market, yay, even at 6 or 7%, yay, because you get all that appreciation. Now, for sellers, I've said this over and over again. I sound like a broken record, but here you go. You're going to have way, way more competition this spring. Having said that, if you're selling a house and buying in the same market, kind of at the same time, then sellers, put your eye on the purchase. That's where your up profit, your uptick, that's where the goodies are in your purchase. So yes, you are likely to sacrifice some of the sale price to get it done in this environment. You're going to make it up on the purchase. And providing you hold it for a few years at least, 2 to 3 years, 2 to 4 years, it'll make the price sacrifice worth it if you're selling and then rebuying in the same market. Now, the other thing to point out, sellers, is with all this inventory coming on the market, the prices are going to stabilize regardless of the interest rates. So keep your eye on that ball. Don't overprice your property. If your agent says that you're in this range, listen to that. And if you don't believe them, get another opinion, or you can go online. There's all kinds of websites these days, and these valuation websites like Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin, they're not the authorities, they're not appraisers, but you can kind of see trends. And if you look across multiple websites, you can see commonality, and start to form your own educated opinion, right? And that's what we want. So having said that, it's nice to look out into the future and see some stability coming, even if it's going to settle with higher interest rates and a little bit higher prices. And that was something I did not predict, for sure, because that's an odd combination. But it all has to do with inventory and the amount of desire that buyers have to buy. So we still have a strong demand. And in Southern Oregon, no wonder. It's just the most beautiful place to live. Our housing costs are relatively affordable compared to a lot of other places in the country. So yeah, and you have the beautiful lakes and mountains and hiking, and because we're mostly an agricultural center. People forget that. You know, we start thinking of Medford and Ashland and Grants Pass as more urban. The longer you live here, the more urban it feels. But we're actually more than 50% agricultural district. So that gives us a lot of our open spaces, and Oregon in general is a very open space, favorable state. So think about all that, because we are in a transition that is changing directions now. We know what direction we're going. We know about what it's going to be like. Yeah, and now is the time. If you can get a house or get an apartment building or help your kids get something, do it, because we're gonna have some smooth sailing here, I predict. In the meantime, give me a call, give me a text, 541-301-7980, 541-301-7980. Like and subscribe to this channel. We love that. Thank you. We've had several of you do that. But mostly just think about what I said, because there are opportunities out there, and we want to help you be good consumers and help you build wealth through real estate. So give me a call. I want to be your agent. In the meantime, have a great rest of your weekend. Bye now.